prior to coming back, he went through 4 weeks with our medical team, and it was thorough, and it was experts and multiple MRIs and multiple doctors, and we felt good about the process. He was cleared to play tonight. That was a collaborative decision. I don't believe there's anybody to blame, but I understand this world, and if you have to, you can blame me. I run our basketball operations department, and let me tell you something about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant loves to play basketball, and the people that questioned whether he wanted to get back to this team were wrong. And I'm not here to... He's one of the most misunderstood people. He's a good teammate. He's a good person. It's not fair. I'm lucky to know him. I don't know, I don't have all the information on what really, the extent of what it all means until we get an MRI. But the people that worked with him and cleared him are good people.
They are good people. I mean, they got it right, saying, okay, after 32 days of not playing, they said he was ready to play. And they were also assured that, look, his playing will not really, affect, he's not going to re-injure himself and all that. So medical clearance, everything was okay. But somehow it all happened again, after just how many minutes on court. First half, that was what he played for them. So we were hoping and wishing he comes back good and better and early enough. But then he actually posted something when he says that he's really hurting, he's in pain. But after the win, he said it was like a tequila in the system and all that. So, so he's happy that they won, but then it's hurting that he just
definitely.
It might feel like the sacrifice was worth it. Because I
I'm
know
not buying
the pain would be much if after all they still lost.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think it's part of the sports. I was going to say something earlier before we went on the break. At the end of the day, like Mr. Meyer said, it was a collective decision. And the player too, has a decision to make whether to play or not. So I think Kevin Durant was also feeling good to play that game. He knew what was at stake. He felt, his presence would count for something. And yes, he did. He counted for something with the win. And we can't rule out the fact that if he didn't play and the Golden State Warriors lost, the conversation will be different. Yes, he will be healthy, but I'm not sure he will be happy. You'll still be hurting, maybe, but maybe not physical pain. But at the end of the day, so it was something they had to do, and they did it. I think this has given them, a good opportunity, to get the win. And if they do win Game 6, I think the series is over. So it's Toronto in 6. Golden State in 7.
Okay, all right, let's talk about another basketball player. This time around, 37-year-old Tony Parker says, well, it's all over, so he's ending his career. As when he left San Antonio Spurs to Charlotte Hornets, we knew that was his final season, and he's calling it quits after a long, long career.
Well, I was surprised he called it quits now. I thought he was going for one more ride, because he left Spurs.
But he said it when he left, that, look, I don't think I have much energy in the tank.
Yeah, but he actually left the Spurs because he still wanted to be a starter. And Greg Popovich told him,
you can't.
You're no longer a young man. So you have to keep starting from the bench. So he moved to Charlotte, a good place to play. I mean, they had a very fantastic season with Kemba Walker. I think he's just reevaluated the whole process and thinking, can my body actually go through, all these rigors again for one more year? So good time.
Has he done enough? Has he done enough with his career to later
absolutely
be inducted
all of Famer without question, first ballot with the rings. He's perhaps one of the first Europeans to make a huge impact. Yes, we have Vlad Divac, we have Dragovic,
we didn't even touch on what he did with the French national team.
Exactly, and he's already transitioned very well, into the front office. He owns a team in France where he's vying for a position, I think, in the federation
Yeah.
as well. So he has already a good plan, moving forward. So without question, without doubt, Tony Parker is an Hall of Famer every day of the week.
Every day of the week. Okay.
All right. Let's talk about our own basketball right now, starting with the basketball league. One will be starting July 1st, and the other one is going to be starting very soon. We'll start with the one of the women's league. It's starting July 1st, which is really a good one. That's the Zenith Bank Women's Basketball League after a long while.
After a very long while. the energy is so out of me. Like, it's been a long wait. But finally it has come. So we hope it brings good tidings. And we get going. We have a lot of tournaments in the international front. That's the worrying part for me. Starting this late, I hope we don't get a very long, a boring season, permit my choice of words, because we have the All-African Games to prepare for. The ladies have the Afro basket. The men are going to World Cup. All this in the space of 3 months. And then we want to start the league out to be too much.
Another rush season.
Yes.
But there's going to be a break in between, because right now we're going to be having 24 teams divided into 4 groups. So the top 4 from the regular league will compete the conference playoffs and all that. And that will be divided into traditional, Atlantic, and of course the Savannah Conference and all that. But then there's going to be a break
in between for the World Cup.
For the World
Cup. I hope what happened to
then.
the NPFL doesn't happen to us.
Then for the men also, same thing. It's starting July 8th and all that, and August the 14th. That's for the break. Then they come back and continue and all that.
Yes, I mean, another economic running around for everyone that is around the basketball sector, which is good, which is what we want. But my question also goes to local-based players making that national team. It's almost looking like
none of them will make it.
None of them will make it, because all year round they've been out. These guys abroad, they've played all season. Some of them, I mean, Farouk Aminu played deep into the playoffs. Went as far as the Western Conference Finals. Same of the guys in Europe.
It's inevitable.
So it's like we've shut the door on them automatically by starting the season now and going to the World Championship. But it's all good we are back.
Thank you. That's the good news. All good you're back. At least once the NBA is over, we start talking about our own league. But I don't know why it has to be like this. We want a situation whereby we talk, about NBBF and also NBA side by side together.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
That's cool. We can have that.
Well, thank you for your time. We would love to continue this conversation, but time wouldn't allow us. But we thank you for your time.
Always a pleasure.
And maybe some other time you'll be here with us again too.
Most definitely.
Do justice to the NBA. Okay. All right, we need to take a quick time out and take you to the Soccer Temple, the Christian Soccer Temple, Agege Stadium, as you all know it, and give you some highlights from the NPFL Championship playoffs, game that a lot of people have been talking about. Let's allow you to see the pictures, make your mind, we'll come back and talk about it.
Under pressure to get the 3 points, but then they have to be a little bit calm.
Can we see a sublime one? He goes, takes it. Well, I don't know what you want to call that, Victor.
The power behind the ball, perfect. But the direction is not.
Ugoke, he's been dispossessed. Opportunity. Now, that definitely has to be a bad tackle. Yes. I thought it was deserved because he went into the player there, Ugu Wadegu.
But I think he made contact to the ball.
Well, I would say that was absolutely poor defending on the part of Japhet Chukwubu, because he was behind his wall. As a goalkeeper, he was supposed to be on the other side of the wall and not behind your wall. But then it's Rabiu Ali. Take nothing away from the quality he possesses when he takes free kicks from those sides. And Canopilas have their nose in front at this point. Again, they lose possession. And you wonder why they can't actually keep ball into play. Here's an opportunity. You wonder what Victor Dennis was thinking in that particular instance there. He should have just gone for goal. Ebuka David, I beg your pardon. What happened to him there? He should have just gone for goal. And there you see Dr. Luciasi, we always knew that would be the situation, Victor. Once you have all your backline considering yellow cards, then they put themselves in a very, very fragile position. Because once you go into tackle, any poor tackle, it will see you getting your second yellow card. Ball in play. This could be an opportunity. And the referee, it's a penalty situation. Victor, it's a penalty situation. It's a penalty situation, and Madani goes into the referee's book for dissent. The players are not happy about that. Adeshola David is also not happy with that call. It's a very tense situation. I can understand what's going through the hearts of Benga Gumbote and David Sinawumi. Gordon Dagoda goes through. Can he make it happen? And of course, he brings things to parity. It's very rare you see Gordon Dagoda miss out on situations like this. Remember, Rangers are...
We've made a switch. Femi has just taken his leave, and we're now joined by Favor Itua. Favor, good morning. It's nice to have you join us today.
Yeah, good morning, Yemi.
All right. And where do we start? Let's start from home. Let's start with the... She's so eager to talk about the drama. But let's see if you can take a look at the results from yesterday. Match day 4 from yesterday. Let's see if we can get it on screen. It's no longer news. Pillars and Rangers. The game ended.
Rangers and Kano Pillars, it was 1-1. Then you also have Aqua United and Lobby Stars. It ended goalless. And of course, the Enyimba and Ifeanyimba 3-1. What the scoreline was looking like on that day. But then the focus this one is going to be on the Kano Pillars and also the Rangers game, simply because of the controversy that went round and all that. Not about the referee, but then it was all about the fans. But before we talk about that ugly part of it, I mean, that game, we all enjoyed it. I mean, from the very beginning, when you have a Gordon Aguda, you know, missing that chance, because Kano Pillars having an opportunity of free kick. Rabiu Ali, we know when he's there, what he can easily do with the ball, and he got that free kick. Then the penalty call that wasn't given to, you know, Pillars and all, then Rangers got theirs and the referee gave it in, and before you know it, fans were already agitated and all that. You were there, so tell us. Okay,
first of all, I was there live at the stadium, and I saw a lot of things happen yesterday. I think it's high time for fans out there to understand that when you're coming into a game, once a decision doesn't favor you, there are ways to channel your grievances towards that particular situation. Now, a penalty call was given to Rangers at the 89th minute, and Gordon Aguda sent the penalty at the back of the net. Now, looking at that particular issue, 5 minutes of added time was added. Now, when it was added, the next thing we saw was Irish fans training, missiles and everything to the stadium. It took him Awangwa to, appeal to the fans to get the sticks out of the stadium. And at that time, it was 97 minutes when the free kick was taken by Kano Pillars. Then the referee ended the game. Now, immediately, we saw what happened. The captain of the side, Rabiu Ali, went straight to the referee. Now, I don't want to talk about that aspect, but I think it's a recurring decimal. Now, let's look at 2016-2017. Aqua United against Kano Pillars at the Sani Abacha Stadium ended 1-0 in favor of Aqua United. And what happened? Immediately, the fans came into the stadium and, the bus was damaged. A lot of things happened. And after that, Rabiu Ali was banned for 1 match. Not only Rabiu Ali, we also had another player who was banned called Mutala Adamu. So that particular incident saw Kano Pillars fined 7.25 million naira for different reasons and after that particular game. Now let's go back to 2012-2013. Same thing happened against Enyimba. Kano Pillars Enyimba, same at the stadium. Kano Pillars were banned to Lokoja. Now come back to 2016. It also happened against Enyimba. Enyimba won 2 goals to 1 in Sani Abacha Stadium. So it has been a recurring decimal. What we've been seeing so far is, fines and a lot of things. I think it's high time stricter measures are put in place to ensure that this does not continue. And why is it that someone who has played 10 years in the league, I mean, more than 10 years in the league, is a veteran, he should be an advocate and ambassador, very respected persons. And in 2012-2013, Bola Osalami was banned for 4 matches, remainder of the season, because of the same incidents at the 3SC. He was then with 3SC, and was said that he incited the fans. That was what we saw yesterday. And it started from the technical crew. We saw the technical crew from the beginning of the game. Any call that does not go in favor of Kano Pillars, you see the technical crew coming out to chant and a lot of things. It helped Kano Pillars and FC Ifeanyimba in the Super 6. Some decisions did not go in favor of FC Ifeanyimba, but they were able to manage the situation. Now, I know that there are ways to channel it. We've seen several times in Nigeria whereby things do not go the right way. You can go back and send the videos to the LMC. And I also want to talk about safety. A lot of persons have said the LMC should ban this and that, but I want to talk about safety. there should be some amount of policemen on ground before a match goes on.
Okay.
But over time, we've seen that when you get to a match venue, the number of policemen, 50 for example, are not there. Matches are, allowed to go on. Yesterday at the stadium, I don't think you were up to 50.
And you see the policemen appealing to the
fans. It's very, very...
We saw one picture. We saw the guy who started you. I know you were at the stadium. You may not be able to have that opportunity to see.
The guy on brown...
yes, brown captain. We saw when the guy actually threw the first missiles. I mean, a big stick with nails on it and all that. He threw it on the pitch. And he had the goalkeeper and referee picking it up and all that. Even the landsman practically escaped, from that.
Just walked away before.
We saw him. The camera was on him. So I was thinking that the stewards and the policeman should have picked that guy up and take him out, from the stadium.
At that point.
But he was left, at the stadium, and at the end of the day, he ended up even entering the pitch.
It's so shocking that a technical crew of an assistant coach of Kano Pillars was aiding the fans to attack the referee, trying to obstruct the referee from running out of the stadium. And it's very, very... Now, I also want to say something here. It's one thing to bring policemen on ground or security agencies to come and, protect the... But then, are they educated on, curbing this violence at the stadium? Don't forget that majority of them go, when they are in the stadium, they watch the games.
That's what they do.
In Europe, we see stewards back the crowd. The crowd to ensure that this at the UEFA Champions League finals, we saw what happened when the lady came in and then she had to be taken out of the stadium. That is, they need to be educated and sensitized on how to curb violence. Not just bring it. You can bring 100 policemen or soldiers in the stadium and it still happens. So they need to tell them these are right mentalities and everything.
All right. Before we leave that, a lot of people have suggested that maybe points deduction will also work. Are you part of those who think so?
Yeah, I think so. Point deduction will work. We've seen fines. It's easy for you to just cough out the money and pay. But then when there's point deduction, it will also go a long way. And also, I think the fans needs to be sensitized because a lot of them don't know that this thing will also affect the team. Now, imagine if a fan does a thing and the club size pay probably 7 million or 2 million for it doesn't go to the fan. It goes to the club. They're coughing out the money from the club. And don't forget, these are state government-owned teams, and it's from the state government
really
that it's not really not affecting them. So they should be able to put checks and balances in place. And imagine this was in a neutral ground. So if it was,
I
mean, it's going to be very, very.
The pictures right here, fans invaded the pitch and all that. This is
this is not good for the. I saw a fan yesterday after the match. She was bleeding. And she said,
these are people who don't want to come to the stadium.
She said she heard the match will be on TV, and that's why she came. And now, do you think it's good for the image of the league? It's not good for the image of the league.
Such a person will come back.
The person will not come back. And imagine if there was a potential client who would want to invest in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Saying this would not encourage the person.
Well, how did you escape? I mean, I learned some journalists said most of them, where they were seated, they got some big sticks actually coming where they were seated.
The direction of this particular, I mean, that was the direction of where the media stand is. So we had to take covers, just queues together and then prevent those missiles from coming through at us. And it's really, really sad. You can see that even the neighborhood watch guys who are there are just probably 2 or 3 as against so many of them. And it's really, really bad. And it took, after this incident, the Kano players came out to apologize and try to calm them down.
But that was mentioned after.
But then, up till now, we've not gotten a statement from Kano players to condemn this act.
That's really bad. I mean, I think we have to leave it right here. We're also waiting for LMC. We understand that, okay, whatever happens, maybe a player will be banned for 1 game or more. Rabi Ali, I think 6 games. Or even, I mean, for 6 months should be, because you don't incite, you know how volatile fans can be. I mean, they are not educated as you are. You've been in the league, you understand what it is and all that. Maybe LMC need to tear their rule book and write another one.
Write it.
But how long does he have to play? Does he have to play?
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I mean,
but I guess I agree with what you say. Give whatever is going to make anybody feel the pain.
That's it.
So it's going to serve as a deterrent. Let's see what the table looks like, because the game is what we should be talking about. Unfortunately, we're talking about incidents. But let's see what the table looks like after match day 4. One set of match, one more match for everybody to play. There you have it. Aima on top, followed by Caterpillars. If that deduction of points happens, they're going to really feel it. But Aima right there on 9 points, followed by Caterpillars, Aqua United, Rangers, Let me say, as an Ifeanyi, both of them not going to win.
I'm not surprised for FC Ifeanyi, but I mean, the relatively young side this season, Uche Kabwe, the coach of the side, brought in a relative unknown players. Anozie came from Abia Warriors. We also saw Chidoke Alaikwe, coming to the team, and he was able to make something out of nothing. And I really must commend him. He came into this. He said he wants to build a team that would, win titles for next season. So he's not even looking at this season. So I think that's
right.
it.
I would, wanted to see silent films of just some of the pictures coming from Eimba and also Ifeanyi. We have Ruben Bala, giving them those 2 goals and. Promise James, I mean, the stunner that he actually scored, which was made for TV, also spectacular goal right there. They may be going out on, well, with a whimper, but then that goal, it's something that is good for the TV. Let's go for a break now. When we come back, we'll be leaving the NPFL and talking about what's happening right there in France. African team yet to win again.